Warning, some material may be inappropriate for younger viewers.
In a world where women are crying and babies are dying, where cats and dogs live together, but the mass hysteria comes from the cinema. Movies so out of touch with the general audience. Trailers so enthralling they give the whole goddamn plot away and make you ask, why? Why not stay home and binge watch Scrubs for the umpteenth time, still pretending that season 9 doesn't exist? All the while, there might just be a movie out there worth getting dressed for, and not just in your Walmart jammies. Now, two likely schlubs broadcast a list of films that may be worthy of the venture into the throngs of humanity, between assholes and elbows, and behind that bitch Becky, who won't put her fucking phone away. This summer, the Storytellers present future films that might not suck. Welcome to the Storytellers.
Here we discuss movies, books, and games.
And all things stories. I'm Nate.
And I'm Brian.
And in this episode, we're going to talk about movies that we're looking forward to seeing and that we hope don't suck. This is in no way a definitive list, and we're going to do them in the order in which they're going to be released into theaters. So up first is May 24th, Brightburn.
Mom, who am I? You are a gift. We believe that you came here for a reason. I know it's been difficult for you lately, that you feel different from other kids.
Touch the floor, Brian!
You are different.
Caitlin, get my hand up.
He's a creep.
Help him up.
What are you doing?
I want him in handcuffs and I want him gone. Do you even know who his real mother is?
I'm his real mother. Let's go.
Maybe there is something wrong with Brandon.
I will never turn against our son.
He's not my son.
Hey, who's messing with me?
Something wrong?
Boy around by chance?
You're one of the only people in the world that knows how special I am.
There are believed to be no survivors among the 268 passengers on board.
No!
Whatever you've done, I know there is good inside you.
Tori! You're safe now. We got
I want to do good, Mom. I do.
Brian, you want to talk about Brightburn?
Brightburn seems to be the Superman origin story, but he's evil as a kid.
Yeah.
So I'm really excited for this.
The evil Superman. This is sort of a semi-Guardians of the Galaxy reunion. We got two of the Gunn brothers who are writers on this picture, and the director, David Yarovesky, I think it's pronounced, also worked on the Guardians movie. So I like that film. This looks very dark and serious.
Yeah, the trailer looks pretty good. A lot of visuals in it, and I mean, I think they couldn't really hide the fact that it's going to be this. So I mean,
no, I
like the premise. So
yeah, I like the fact that it's on the nose.
Yeah.
You know, so we know what we're getting. And I do complain a lot about trailers giving too much stuff away, but we don't know. Obviously, he came from space, but did he? Is he an alien? Is it a government thing? Why is he killing people? Is he just getting revenge on, people that did him wrong? Or we don't know. I'm a sucker for evil children movies.
Yeah.
I like The Omen.
It could just be that somebody's been isolated.
Right.
You know what I mean? And has these powers and says, hell with it. I'm going to take it out on people.
I really like the plague mask. It looks like he has a plague mask on in that one scene.
Something like a kid would make. Probably.
Yeah. Like he made his own crappy mask and a cape.
Yeah.
That actress who plays the mother looks like she's going to be in a good role.
That's Elizabeth Banks.
Right. What else is she in?
Oh, she's in a billion movies.
Right.
She's in the Hunger Games.
Hunger Games, right.
I think some of those Judd Apatow comedies. She's been in a few of those. She was in SpiderMan 2. She's the secretary for
Jameson.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah?
That's Elizabeth Banks.
Okay. Yeah, I think this is going to be a good role for her. It seems like a meaty role, and she's going to be able to pull out her dramatic chops. Yeah. Hopefully they deliver on the horror premise that I think they're going for, especially in it's kind of a weird time for a film like this. I mean, summer's always superhero time, but now we have this anti-evil horror villain type superhero, and it's going to be going up against things like Godzilla and stuff in the weeks to come.
Yeah,
it's
definitely like a counter programming thing. Right after Endgame came out, like, hey, you've seen the good guys. Here's a bad guy.
Yeah, and you know what? And I also get excited because of here we have something that's not like somebody else's IP.
Yeah.
As far as I know of, I think this is an original script, an original story. Something different, so we don't have to. Everything is based on this, based on that, and it's nice to see. An original story get screen time. So I'm definitely looking forward to this one. And so our next two films come out on May 31st. We have a versus here. Two Titan heavyweights, Rocket Man and Godzilla King of the Monsters, both come out on the same day.
I could hear the whole tune in my head. It was all there, I could see all the notes, and I just had to get it out.
It's a little bit funny, this feeling inside.
What did you say your name was again?
My name is...
Reggie!
Reginald Dwight.
Reginald? That's my granddad's name.
So how does a fat boy from nowhere get to be a soul man?
You gotta kill the person you were born to be in order to become the person you want to be.
I'm thinking of changing my name to Elton.
But that's my name.
Yeah, I know.
Well, you could be the best-selling artist in America if you desire.
I was trying to do something bold. Why are you still something flashy?
Can you even play the piano in those?
Let him know who you are. And just don't kill yourself with drugs.
So how does it feel to be a star?
It's never gonna last.
Let's just enjoy it while we can.
First sleeping arrangements get out, all of this is gone.
I just hope you realise you're choosing a life of being alone forever.
Don't you want to just sing without this ridiculous paraphernalia?
People don't pay to see Reg Dwight. They pay to see Elton John.
Sorry.
I know.
Do you even care how much pressure I'm under?
Not really. I'll still be collecting my 20% long after you've killed yourself.
Maybe I should have tried to be more ordinary.
You were never ordinary.
beautiful boy you were. Look at you now.
Hello? Is anyone there? I'm trying to reach.
Senators, we believe that these titans are just the tip of the iceberg. Which of these titans are here to protect us? And which of these titans are here to threaten us?
So you'd want to make Godzilla our pet?
No. We would be his.
You're sure he's gonna be okay?
They're everywhere. Battling for dominance. A rival alpha to Godzilla.
You gotta be kidding.
What do you think about Rocket Man?
I think it's interesting. It's not so much a documentary as more like a musical of Elton John's life.
Right. The director of this is Dexter Fletcher, who apparently came in and finished Bohemian Rhapsody after Bryan Singer left the project. And I was watching an interview about this Taron Egerton, who's playing Elton, and I guess like Elton gave him his like full confidence and that you can do this, and he was happy with his singing.
Well, he's in Kingsman too. Elton John was, so
that's
probably met there.
Yeah, that's probably part of how this project came together. And I like. Are you a fan of Across the Universe?
I thought that's one I haven't seen. I haven't seen Across the Universe and the Beatles.
Really?
Yes.
Well, that's what this kind of looks like to me. It looks like kind of like Across the Universe or Moulin Rouge. It's going to be over the top sort of, idealized magical musical version of his life, which I think looks like a lot of fun.
Yeah.
I think Godzilla will crush this in the box office for sure. But I think as a movie, I think it's gonna be a lot of fun. I enjoy musicals. Elton John's been a part of my life and a part of a lot of people's lives growing up. He's a legend.
Yeah.
So I'm definitely looking forward to see this. Also, I saw an article that was talking about a lot of people were disappointed with Bohemian Rhapsody because they didn't go too much into the homosexual aspect of Freddie Mercury's lifestyle. And well, I'm told that this movie is going to go the opposite direction and dive into his coming out of the closet, so to speak. Which I think would be interesting because it's not something that's like, it's kind of like one of those things like everybody knows, but no one talks about it.
Yeah.
Like everybody loves Elton John and he's clearly gay, but no, it's just not something.
It's not brought up.
No, it isn't. So I think it would be interesting to see that aspect of his life and what that brought to the music or vice versa.
And I also think this will help because a lot of the complaints I heard about Bohemian Rhapsody was the inaccuracies of the life, but having it as a musical and not really being based in 100% fact might lend itself to being more forgiving in an audience eyes.
Yeah, I think this will work a lot better. I bet you any money this will be one of those things that, like, in, I don't know, maybe 4 or 5 years, or maybe even less, it'll end up being a Broadway type show, or something. So I definitely look forward to seeing that. So then we have Godzilla, King of the Monsters. I have an itchy trigger finger for this, but I am excited.
I am definitely excited for this one because this is everything I thought the first movie was going to be.
What the first movie should have been.
Yes.
Instead of just seeing a fucking foot on a local news station, like, there's your Godzilla, that's your introduction to Godzilla.
Yep.
And that movie was just so dark.
Yeah.
And I don't mean like tonally dark, I mean like the lighting was dark and it was hard to see what the hell was going on.
Yeah. For this one, they have all the monsters I remember from when I was younger, so we'll see how it goes.
Yeah, we got Mothra, Rodan, King Ghidorah, or Ghidorah, however you like to pronounce it. Was there anything else that you noticed?
There's a few other ones in there, but
there's a lot of quick flashes and stuff that's in there. Yeah. I was going to say this is just a popcorn monster flick, and who cares who directed it, but I looked, and it's directed by this guy named Michael Daughtry, who did the Krampus movie not too long ago, and he directed that horror anthology movie Trick or Treat.
Yes.
Which I love.
Trick or Treat's great.
It's great. It's one of the best anthology horror films you're going to find. It's right up there with Creepshow. It's really good. So, those stories are way intimate compared to this over-the-top monster spectacle, so I'm wondering how that's going to translate for him, because this is basically his first big budget type movie from what I've seen.
Yeah.
But it's what I want. Kong Skull Island. That's nobody's idea of a great movie, I don't think. But it delivered on, give me a monster movie.
Yep, we had Kong there.
We had Kong. There's monsters. I got what I wanted out of it. Was it great? No. Was it enjoyable? Yeah, I had a good time at the cinema. And this looks like it's going to be a good time. My reservation is that the first one sucked.
Yeah.
I hated it. I would watch any of the Toho Godzillas over that film any day of the week. I'd probably watch the 97.
I was going to say the Matthew Broderick one?
I think it was 97, whatever year it was. I probably would watch that before I'd watch that one again. Yeah. As a franchise, though, you got to wonder if you're pulling out all the stops now, where does it go from here?
Well,
I know there's a Kong
they're gonna
fight in
Godzilla
the works.
versus Kong, and then who knows after that? I don't think they can do much after that. I mean,
well, I'm looking forward to a good Godzilla movie. America just can't make one. The closest thing I think we got in Americanized Godzilla is that one in the 80s.
Yeah.
Godzilla 84, 85, I forget what year it was, which is a really strange movie, but Godzilla looks cool in it, and you get lots of Godzilla in it, and that's what you want. So up next, this is one of your picks, and I'll let you folks know we may agree or disagree on some of these. This is June 14th, Men in Black International.
Yeah. Here's the reason why I'm probably going to go see this movie. It reunites Chris Hemsworth with Tessa Thompson, who had great chemistry in Ragnarok.
Okay, she was like the bounty hunter girl?
She was, she's Valkyrie.
She played Han Solo, basically.
She's Valkyrie. She's going to fly on a unicorn. Now, she's not going to do that in this movie, but...
Well, you never know.
Yeah.
But, what is this, the fourth Men in Black movie?
It is the fourth one, yes. They had the original trilogy, and this is now an offshoot.
I am a big fan of the first Men in Black. I thought it was great. It was like it was like Ghostbusters, right?
Yeah.
With aliens. So I thought it was great. It was fun. Having Tommy Lee Jones opposite Will Smith was a good chemistry because he's like curmudgeon, and they have this rookie who's green, and the movie was a lot of fun, and it had a good villain. And what's the guy's name? I always forget his name. He's in Law and Order for years. He's the new Kingpin in Daredevil.
Oh, that's D'Onofrio.
Yeah, Vincent D'Onofrio. He played the Cockroach Man. Sugar.
Yep.
That role was good. The second one, was okay. It's Ghostbusters again. Ghostbusters 2, Men in Black 2. They're both okay. There's nothing wrong with them, but not as good as the first one. And I have to confess, I never saw the third one.
I never saw the third one.
So you never saw it, and you still want to see this?
I just, when they started talking about time travel, I'm like, okay, I'm out.
I guess Liam Neeson's playing like the new head of the organization, maybe.
Yeah, and just Chris Hemsworth has shown he can do comedy. So I mean, I just think there's some chemistry between those two actors. I think.
Oh, I agree. Yeah, Chris Hemsworth definitely showed his acting chops in Ragnarok, and maybe it can work here.
Yeah.
Am I going to pay to see this movie? I don't know, Brian. This seems like a drive-in movie to me, because I can go and I can have my chicken fingers and still be happy. I don't know.
I'll go see it. I don't know. I'm pretty willing to go see movies in the theaters. So.
Yeah, you're definitely an easier customer than I am, for sure. But also on June 14th, this is going to be another Versus. This is going to be a smaller picture that Men in Black destroys in the box office, I'm sure, but I want to see it. It's called The Dead Don't Die, and we'll watch that trailer.
In this peaceful town, on these quiet streets, something terrifying, something horrifying is coming.
Excuse me, we're closed. Get away from me!
What the hell was it? A wild animal?
This is really awful. Maybe the worst thing I've ever seen.
What was it, wild animals?
So what are you thinking?
I'm thinking zombies.
What?
You know, the undead. Ghouls.
You look gorgeous. Oh my. Are you in this together?
Flesh-eating zombies.
Don't joke, it's really, really creepy.
Oh, man. This isn't gonna end well.
When I was a boy, I thought about
They gravitate towards things they did when they were alive.
carved beef.
Chardonnay.
Did she just say Chardonnay?
Yeah, she did.
1, 2, 3. Welcome to my world, zombies.
I've been telling you this is all gonna end badly.
Well, that's unfortunate.
I'm quite confident of my ability to defend myself against the undead.
I can see that.
Excuse me. Those are some pretty good cuts. You played some minor league ball, didn't you?
Well, a little Class A. It was a long time ago.
So, The Dead Don't Die. This is like in absence of a Zombieland 2. This looks like the movie I want. We got Bill Murray, Adam Driver, Danny Glover, Tilda Swinton, Selena Gomez, Steve Buscemi, Tom Waits, Iggy Pop, and the list goes on and on. There's just like, it looks like a bunch of like fun people having a good time killing zombies. I don't know what else it's about, but I'm going to see this movie.
Yep. It's like Shaun of the Dead, kind of.
Sure.
Yep.
I mean, you know, there aren't many things anymore that can make zombies scary again, which I complain about constantly.
Yeah.
But I'm okay with a good comedy, and, you know, I'm a sucker for Bill Murray. I'll tell you who I'm a real sucker for is Tilda Swinton.
Yeah.
That girl is great at everything she does. I just love her.
Yeah.
Seeing her as a badass mortician with a katana chopping up zombies, I'm all about it.
Yeah. Watching the trailer there, it kind of reminded me almost like the dialogue from like a Wes Anderson film. So just these little snippets of weird commentary about what's going on. Like, hey, you know, I think it's a wild animal attack. I think it's the undead.
Right. Yeah. It looks like it has like a very like self-aware, like what we do in the shadows kind of blasé vibe, which I'm like, it's funny because like the dead are coming back to life, and these characters are trying to survive, but at the same time, it doesn't look like they're all that concerned about it.
Yeah.
You know? So, yeah, the Dead Don't Die, June 14th, coming out the same day as Men in Black. I'm looking forward to it. If I have a choice between the two, I'm going to go with Bill Murray and Tilda Swinton. Sorry.
Yep.
All right. So, up next, July 2nd, we have Spider-Man Far From Home.
Everywhere I go, I see his face. I just really miss him.
Yeah, I miss him too. I don't think Tony would have done what he did if he didn't know that you were going to be here after he was gone.
You gonna be the next Iron Man now?
Well, no, I don't have time. I'm too busy doing your jobs.
What? I'm kidding. Look, keep up the good work.
Because I am going on vacation.
Heads up, Nick Fury's calling you.
I don't really want to talk to Nick
Answer
Fury.
the phone.
Why?
Because if you don't talk to him, then I have to talk to him. I don't want to talk to him. You sent Nick Fury to voicemail?
I gotta go.
You do not ghost Nick Fury.
What up, dorks? What's up? We're just talking about the trip.
I'm here in St. Marco Polo's. Oh,
I think MJ really likes me.
that reminds me when I first fell in love.
You're a very difficult person to contact,
Spider-Man.
This is Mr. Beck.
We could have used someone like you on my world.
Your world?
Beck is from Earth, just not ours. The snap to our hole in our dimension.
You're saying there's a multiverse?
We have a job to do, and you're coming with us.
There's gotta be someone else you can use. What about Thor?
Off-world.
Captain Marvel? Unavailable. But I'm just a friendly neighborhood Spider-Man.
Bitch, please, you've been to space.
What do you want, Peter?
I want to go back on my trip with the girl who I really like and tell her how I feel. MJ, I
am Spider-Man.
No, of course I'm not.
I mean, it's kind of obvious.
You're right, you may not be ready, but this is my responsibility. Saving the world requires sacrifice. Sometimes people die.
Oh my God.
I just always feel like I'm putting my friends in danger. The world needs the next Iron Man.
You going to step up or not?
I gotta get you guys out of here. Get on the jet. Who are you? I work with Spider-Man.
You work for Spider-Man?
I work with Spider-Man, not for Spider-Man. New plan.
This is the same director of the first one. We still got Tom Holland as Spider-Man, who's, in my opinion, the best Spider-Man we've had on film so far.
Yes.
Jake Gyllenhaal playing the Mysterio character. And we have Samuel Jackson again, of course, and Jon Favreau. I like Jon Favreau.
Yeah.
He seems like a nice guy. He reminds me a lot, I don't know about you, he reminds me of Rob Reiner.
Yeah.
You know, he's a guy who both acts and directs, and, you know, he's funny and just, like, seems like a good dude.
Exactly.
Yeah, every time I see him on camera, it brings a smile to my face for some reason. So what do you think about taking this character to the UK?
I think it's an interesting choice. I think there's going to be a lot of... obviously I'm going to go see it because it's a Spider-Man film, but there's also going to be a lot of fallout from Endgame, obviously.
Yeah, there was, they announced this movie a while ago, and so there was an up in the air kind of question about...
Before or after.
Yeah, about where it was going to fall in the timeline. Clearly now we know that it's after.
Yeah.
Which is fine. And I expressed to you my worries before about Spider-Man losing some of his naivete because of all the stuff he's been through. I think putting him in a foreign land will help that.
Yeah.
I have no idea what the story in this is going to be because they have Mysterio being somewhat of not necessarily a villain. So I'm guessing he's going to betray them or something. And then there's something about a multiverse time rift that was opened because of Thanos' snap. So we might have some more extra dimensional time travel type stuff.
Yeah.
I've seen that they have Hydro Man in there as a villain.
Yeah.
and then there's some other kind of giant thing that's on fire.
Yeah, I think it's a bunch of elementals almost, how they portrayed it.
Well, Hydro Man is a Spider-Man villain in the comics. It's basically the same thing as Sandman, except for he's water.
Water, yeah.
And then they showed something that looked very similar to that in the trailer, but it was fire.
Yeah.
So I don't know if that's also Hydro Man. Maybe he's using fuel as opposed to water, or maybe it's a different character. I'm not sure.
Or they could all be fake, because you have Mysterio there. They could all be illusions.
I've seen in some of the shots he has a lot of Tony's hardware still.
Yeah.
I'm wondering how long that's going to go on. I need Spider-Man somewhat reset back to having less resources.
Well, it looked like he had a different suit on.
There's a couple different suits in the trailer.
One of them was like a stealth.
Yeah, one of them was just like a black, like a secret special forces. Like I don't know, it looked just like something he made with maybe like a ski mask or something.
Yeah, like maybe that was what Nick Fury gave him, a stealth in here, almost like a agent version of himself.
Well, we know we got Mysterio, and we know that, in the first one we had the Vulture, and we didn't know what that was going to be like, and it turned out that Michael Keaton turned it out.
Yeah.
That scene where they both know.
In the car?
And they're in the car.
Yes.
It's the best scene in the movie. I want more of that.
Exactly.
So I'm hoping that Mysterio can end up being a good villain, or maybe they'll pull the rug out from underneath us and we'll get another villain that they haven't shown.
Exactly.
Because like I said, it does seem like Mysterio here is being a good guy.
Yeah.
But if we're doing with multiverse, then maybe we have two Mysterios, a good one and an evil one.
Yeah.
I don't know.
But they're also talking about he's got like a suit like Iron Man, and Mysterio does, and
right.
And all the cops are like, "Are you trying to be the next Iron Man, the Spider-Man?" So they keep bringing up Iron Man in this one. So hopefully they don't do something stupid and have Iron Man show up in this one, because I would probably walk out of the theater at that point.
Oh yeah, I don't see that happening. I don't think it will. I think they're going to stick with what they've established.
Yeah.
Spider-Man 2, the Sam Raimi movie, is still my favorite Spider-Man movie. Homecoming would probably be second.
Yeah, I have a race.
Well,
into the Spider-Verse. We're not.
Let us know out there if you want us to do an episode on Into the Spider-Verse, because this is a movie that I think that I was not really wanting to see, and I kind of watched it sort of begrudgingly and ended up loving it.
Yes.
I will honestly say I do really enjoy the movie, and I will definitely watch it again in the future. It was a lot of fun.
Slightly twisted your arm.
And and that's what I want from Spider-Man. I think more so than most superhero type movies, how they try to tend to, especially now, take it darker and darker and darker.
Yeah.
Spider-Man movies and stories are always more uplifting and fun and action oriented, and that's what I do enjoy about what we got from Sam Raimi.
Yeah.
And I'm hoping that fun is here.
Yeah.
And I do like Tom Holland.
Well, he has his friends there from school, so
right.
There's probably going to be some of that, but then, once again, you have Nick Fury going, "Bitch, you've been in space."
Which is funny, because that was my exact argument when I was talking about Endgame, was like, "Bitch, you rode a Pegasus."
That's right.
Same thing, right? So I'm happy to see that they're self-aware.
Yeah.
They seem to know where the character's been and where it's going, and we'll see if we get more Spider-Man stuff if Sony and Marvel continue to work together, and where that goes. So that's Spider-Man Far From Home, July 2nd. Coming out the very next day, July 3rd, might be the movie I'm looking most forward to on this list. It's Midsommar.
I told you that I want to go to that festival in Sweden.
No, you said it would be cool to go.
Yeah, and then I got the opportunity and I decided
Look,
to do it.
I don't mind you going. I just wish you would have told me. That's all.
Dude, she needs a therapist. You've been wanting out of this stupid relationship for a year now.
And don't forget about all of the beautiful Swedish women you'll meet in June.
Okay, guys.
That's not her again. Seriously?
Babe, what's happening? Danny.
I was so very sorry to hear about what happened.
I'm sorry.
I invited Danny to come to Sweden.
You know what she's been going through.
Christian says you've got this special week planned.
It's sort of a crazy festival. Special ceremonies and dressing up.
That sounds fun.
Unbelievable.
Welcome and happy Midsommar. Skål!
What time is it?
9 p.m.
That can't be right. The sky is blue.
This is what 9 p.m. is like here.
How long have you two been together?
Just over 3.5 years.
4 years.
Really?
Yeah?
What do you think?
It's like another world.
Tomorrow's a big day.
Is it scary?
What is it?
It has special properties.
What am I going through?
We just need to acclimate.
I don't want to acclimate. I want to go.
Absolutely not.
What's happening? I don't know why you invited us.
That's why you look so guilty right now, because you know.
We only do this every 90 years. I was most excited for you to come.
A24 puts out some good stuff, don't they?
Yes.
It's some interesting stuff. So we have Midsommar on July 3rd. This is definitely not going to be one for general audiences.
No. So
I'll tell you that right now. But so it's Ari Aster, director of Hereditary, and I bought my ticket already.
Yeah,
I don't need to even see the trailer. I'm sold. I want to see what this guy does next. For those of you who want to go back into our archives and watch our Hereditary review, we really delved deep into that film. It's a great movie, and this looks like it's going to be a mind bender.
Yeah.
Definitely get that Wicker Man vibe.
Yeah, it's the creepy isolation with villagers.
It looks like mostly women also in the pagan cult or whatever it is.
Yeah.
So what kind of story can you get out of that trailer for you?
I don't know. It's like maybe it's one of these things, is it real or not? Because like they keep drinking things in there.
Yeah, I've seen that. There's like definitely some Jim Jones stuff going on. Or they're drinking the punch.
Yeah.
The one girl says something about it gives you special properties.
Yeah. And then they show somebody floating off the ground. So.
Right. And then apparently it's not getting nighttime around there like it's supposed to be.
Yeah.
So that would be an interesting premise if the entire movie takes place during the day and night never comes.
Or it's like a pocket dimension.
Yeah, that looks...
Because that opening is like a portal, almost like it's a circular door.
Right, so the basic premise seems to be that the main character is having relationship problems with his girlfriend, and she's like a stage 5 clinger, I think, and he wants to get rid of her. His friends are trying to convince him to get rid of her.
Yeah.
She was doing something in the bathroom. Maybe, I don't know, but it looks like she might have had like a failed pregnancy or some kind of scare like that. I don't know, but they're gonna go to this foreign country to have this like getaway to get him away from her.
Yeah.
And then he invites her anyway.
Yeah.
But then it looks like part of the twist is like that they wanted her to be there
all along.
Like it was like some kind of preordained kind of ritual, which is how, if you remember The Wicker Man, like that was like a whole like everything they did in that story was a lure. And we're talking about the original Wicker Man from the 70s. Don't bother with that Nick Cage trash unless you just want to laugh at it. Alcohol is probably required. But yeah, the original Wicker Man is just all these themes about isolation and about being pulled deeper into this plot, and then you realize that it was all you're a puppet.
Yeah, exactly.
So, this movie, the trailer anyway, gives me enough of like to sink my teeth into, but I don't have any idea
where it's gonna go,
or what it's gonna be about. this, unlike Hereditary, I think the trailer for Hereditary, like I said before, looked like just another Conjuring or Annabelle or one of those movies, and it turned out that it was way more high art than was let on. This looks like it knows what it's selling more.
Yeah.
So now that we have this proven track record with Heredity, maybe he's got a little more freedom to
do what he needs to do.
Right, because I mean, you know, me and you are both going to watch Spider-Man and this, but the average person who watches Spider-Man and sees a trailer for this is going to be like, what the hell's that?
Yeah.
And they're probably not going to see it.
And it's weird because it's so bright. It's a very bright film. It's like...
Yeah, it looks like it all takes place during the day mainly.
Yep.
And that would be a nice change if that is the case. So yeah, like I said, this might be my most anticipated movie on this list. I really want to see it. Okay, so next, coming out July 12th, and I wouldn't know this movie was coming out if it wasn't for you. Crawl.
Yes.
So let's watch this trailer.
The state of Florida has issued a Category 5 hurricane warning. All residents must evacuate immediately. Grab your families, your loved ones, and get out.
Dad!
We won't be able to come for you.
Dad! Oh my God! What happened?
Haley, are you hurt?
I'm fine. Hello, can anybody hear me? I'm trapped with my father in our house in Coral Lake. Please send help.
Haley!
Wait, down here!
Pete, you hear that?
In less than an hour, we'll be underwater.
Banging on the pipes blurs their senses.
I can distract them for you.
You got this!
You need to go now.
I'm not leaving you here. Come on, you son of a bitch!
And that's Crawl, coming out July 12th. Like I said, I didn't hear anything about this movie until you brought it to my attention. So from the director of Hills Have Eyes, Alexandre Aja, who also... Hills Have Eyes, by the way, if you haven't seen this horror film, it's a remake of Wes Craven's film.
Yeah.
It's disturbing. It's excellent. When I seen it many years ago, it's been way over a decade now, people actually left the theater during the movie. And I don't mean like a couple people, I mean dozens of people left and never returned, and I was grinning like a schoolgirl. I was so excited. He also directed this movie called High Tension, which is a French film. It's Haute Tension in France. You'd have to watch it dubbed or with subtitles, but it's a slasher film. It has some great practical effects. It's really creepy. I recommend it. How'd you know this was coming out? I didn't even see a trailer until you told me.
I was just watching videos online and it popped up before a video I was watching. I was like, what's this? And watched the whole ad instead of skipping over it. And
I'm excited for those reasons, and I'm a sucker for a monster creature feature.
yeah.
Is it just one
I think there's multiple alligators.
Well, see, on the one shot I noticed it's definitely a crocodile.
Yeah.
Because it has a pointed snout,
Yeah.
which are saltwater animals. So it must have got brought inland by the hurricane. So I was wondering, is it one crocodile like in Lake Placid, or is it multiple crocodiles and alligators? I don't know.
Yeah.
definitely gave me a little bit of Sharknado vibe.
Oh, because of the hurricane?
Yeah, just because the basic concept of that. But it looks like it's played straight. It looks like it's going to be like half. Like we're going to get 2 movies. Like half of it's going to be like surviving this hurricane and being trapped, and then by the way, something else is trying to eat you.
Yes. It looks definitely cool. It's going to replace my shark movie of the year, so it's alligators and crocodiles instead of sharks this year for me. So, and it's like, to me, it seems like instead of being Jaws on a boat, it's like that same premise, but you're stuck in this house and you can't get away from the shark or
the hurricane floods the town. It takes place in Florida or Louisiana or something, but there's nowhere to go.
Exactly.
So
you're stuck there.
I didn't know this next one. I didn't know was coming out already, and I say already. It's not till August 9th, but it's Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, the 9th film from Quentin Tarantino. Let's take a look.
To my right is Bounty Law series lead and Jake Cahill himself, Rick Dalton. And to my left is Rick's stunt double, Cliff Booth. So, Rick, explain to the audience exactly what it is a stunt double does.
Actors are required to do a lot of dangerous stuff. Cliff here is meant to help carry the load.
Is that how you describe your job, Cliff?
What, carrying his load? Yeah, it's about right.
My hands are registered as lethal weapons. We get into a fight, I accidentally kill you. I go to jail.
Anybody accidentally kills anybody in a fight, they go to jail. It's called manslaughter.
That was the best acting I've ever seen in my whole life.
Like you. Rick fucking Dalton.
So that's number 9 on our list, the 9th film from Tarantino. When I first heard about this project, I was reading an article in, I want to say it was Rolling Stone, but they were talking about how this was supposed to be like a detective type story during the Manson era in Hollywood.
Yeah.
And none of that's in the trailer.
Yeah, it doesn't.
It doesn't seem anything like what they were talking about a year ago. Now it's about a stunt double.
Yeah.
And apparently it's a movie within a movie.
They're basically like highlighting that time period in Hollywood. You know, it's what it looks like to me. So,
what do you think it's about? I mean, it's got a whole list of people in it: James Marsden, Margot Robbie, Leo, Brad Pitt, Timothy Olyphant, Al Pacino, and the list goes on. I stopped writing them because it's just like everybody.
Here, you can write all this down, but only one name means anything to me: Quentin Tarantino. If it has his name on it, I'm seeing it. So.
I agree with you.
Yeah.
The weird thing about it to me is like he's known for heist movies and drama, and like he has several different kinds of genres, but a lot of them revolve around crime. And if you take any of those trailers from any of his films, like what I don't want to say what the plot is, but what the problem is that needs to be solved in the film. And from this, I have no idea what the problem is. What is it about?
Yeah.
I don't know.
Maybe it's a surprise. I don't know.
I mean, the trailer is almost 3 minutes. It's not a teaser.
No, it's pretty long.
So I have no idea what this film is about, but I will be seeing it because it's Tarantino.
I will be also.
And I hate to be one of those guys, but I mean, he's one of my favorite directors. I don't think he's made a bad film.
Yeah.
Some of them have been better than others, no doubt, but I'm always excited to see what he's going to turn out next.
I've liked every film he's done. So.
I have too. I will say, because we were just talking about the Hateful Eight, I personally believe that's one of his weaker ones.
Yeah.
In my opinion. I do I think his older stuff better.
Yeah.
My favorite's Jackie Brown. Hands down, always will be. I love Pam Grier and Michael Keaton in that.
Yeah, I used to say Pulp Fiction, but Inglourious Bastards definitely is my favorite.
Man, Inglourious Bastards is so good.
It is.
It's just, man, that movie makes me grin.
It's all about language too. It's what's interesting about it.
Yeah, I like it a lot. So yeah, Tarantino really for me can do no wrong. I like different pictures, different ways, and for different reasons. But
yeah.
I look forward to seeing this. So that's Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. The trailer and what they have on IMDb and other sites have different dates. So it's either going to be late June or mid-August. August 9th is the date that I have.
Yeah.
I think it's going to be that because it's his 9th film.
Well, I know they for a long time were saying it was going to be on the anniversary of the Manson murders. Was the release date?
Yeah. Well, you know what?
There was a lot of controversy.
Did you see that in the trailer? There was like a 2-second shot of Charlie Manson.
Yeah.
Or an actor being him.
Well,
I'm hoping that maybe it's going to be fun shenanigans and then turn to a really dark place halfway through or something.
Yeah.
I don't know, because the film that they sold me on a year ago is not what I just seen in that trailer.
Didn't the Manson family hide out an old Western set out in the thing? Because you seen there was a couple girls it looked like they were on an old Western set. So, I mean that's the other thing that hints towards that. So.
Yeah, I have a feeling this is going to be more than meets the eye.
Yeah.
So we'll look forward to seeing that. So next on my list, this is probably my second one I'm looking forward to after Midsommar is also, they say August 9th is Scary Stories to Tell in the Dark.
This town has told stories about me. Horrible stories. But they don't realize I have scary stories of my own.
Sarah Bellows. Tell me a story.
Sarah Bellows' book, where the stories write themselves and it all comes alive.
You don't read the book. The book reads you. I'm afraid I'm gonna die, Dad.
We're next. We're next.
So I've been excited for this for a long time. They announced this probably about a year ago. Scary Stories to Tell in the Dark was the very first book that I ever purchased with my own money. I was so excited that I believe it was originally published by Simon & Schuster, and it was going to be at my school book fair when I was in 3rd grade. And so I had saved up as much money as I could to buy this book. So it's in 1993 or 94. And the artwork in these books is just amazing. It looks like the artwork is translated over into what I see in the film, and I am stoked.
Yeah, I'm not familiar with this, so
really,
yeah.
Oh, it's so sad. Well, you're about 10 years older than me, so you would have been probably in high school or maybe just graduating when these books were popular.
Yeah, I graduated in 92, so.
They're based on urban legends and Midwest ghost stories. So I'm from Indiana, so I've heard some of these stories before, and they collected these stories and put them in a book, and then every story they're short. They're 2, 3, maybe the most might be 5 pages or something. And then they have this really creepy artwork, which is one of the biggest selling points of the book. And I would say it's made for a teen audience. I don't know if this movie is going to be made for a teen audience. It looks like it could be PG-13. It does have, so I'm excited about it. Then the icing on the cake is I see Guillermo del Toro's name, and I'm like, well, here's my money.
Yep.
Well,
I said, oh, when I seen that.
Right.
So.
Guillermo del Toro, in my opinion, can do no wrong. Just about every project he touches turns out to be good.
Yeah.
He's not directing this. The director is, I apologize if I butcher this, he's foreign to me, Andre Ovredal. He did Troll Hunter.
It's a very good film.
And The Autopsy of Jane Doe. Troll Hunter I highly recommend. It's I guess he's Finnish, I think then. It takes place in Finland and it's about trolls. It's a foreign language film, so you have to watch it with subtitles, or I don't know if there's a dubbed version or not.
I've only seen it with subtitles. So.
But it's kind of like the Blair Witch. It's a found footage sort of movie, but it's about a bounty hunter who hunts down trolls, and then a documentary film crew follows him hunting down trolls, and then they're real trolls, and the CGI, I will admit, can be questionable at times, but I don't know, once you get into it, for me, you buy it.
Yeah.
You buy into it, and it's fun. It's entertaining. I'm super looking forward to this Scary Stories movie. I hope I'm not disappointed, because this is my nostalgia moment. I grew up with these books. There's 3 of them.
Yeah.
A trilogy of books. There might have been a 4th one that was published later. I can't remember. I have them over here on my bookshelf behind me. But I have fond memories of those books, and especially because when you're a kid, there was Goosebumps at this time too, but this was a little more highbrow than Goosebumps.
Yeah.
And there's definitely stuff in there that we took it. I was in Scouts. We took them to camp with us and read it around the fire and stuff. And I'm super excited for it. And then lastly on our list, we're going into the fall now, is It Chapter 2.
Yes.
September 6th.
I used to live here.
Won't you come in? It's the least I can do. Is it like you remember?
Cleaner.
Well, you feel free to look around while I get the water boiling.
Your hair is winter fire. January embers. My heart burns there too.
There you go. Thank you. Now some music. I do apologize. It gets so very hot here this time of year.
It's fine.
Well, you feel like you could just about die. But you know what they say about Derry? No one who dies here ever really dies. But tell me, how is it being back in Derry?
It's good. Strange.
Strange? Oh, my. I had some cookies in the oven before you came. Stay right there.
I shouldn't impose. I'm gonna...
No, I insist.
Your photos are lovely, Miss Kirsch. Are these your family?
My father came to this country with $14 in his pocket.
What did he do, Mrs. Kirsch?
My father joined the circus. I was always Daddy's little girl. What about you? Are you still his little girl, Beverly? Are you?
It's me and the Losers Club has officially begun.
We can do this, but we have to stick together.
fool.
Well, kids, I gotta tell you, I think both of us have similar feelings on this one. Are we gonna see it? Guaranteed. Are we looking forward to it? Yeah.
Yeah, hopefully.
So the negative things I dug up about this, and I hate to be a party pooper, but so we got the same director, Andy Muschietti. Yeah. He directed the first one. He directed Mama, which was also produced by Guillermo del Toro. That's how I came involved with knowing who that is, and I think he has good vision. Unfortunately, the writer is not the same writer from the first one. He was like a co-writer, and the main writer is gone from the project now. Why? I don't know. This new writer who's helming it is Gary Dauberman, who wrote The Nun and both those Annabelle movies, the Blumhouse crap.
Yeah.
The Conjuring crap.
Terrible movies.
So, the trailer... The first It trailer rocked my socks, 2 years ago. This one, I'm just like... It's like sight gags.
Yeah.
There's like stuff twitching in the corner and in the background and...
Yeah, things you would see in like The Conjuring.
Yes. And it makes me go, oh no. Please God, no.
And those movies have their place, but this is not that place to have stuff like that in it.
You know what? I'm not even going to say those movies have their place. Yeah, they do, but to me, people who like Annabelle and stuff like that are, they're at like the very top peak of the iceberg of going into good horror films.
Yeah.
It's a movie you might watch once and throw it away. I thought The Conjuring was okay.
Yeah.
But it's no Insidious in that same kind of, and they're both James Wan, who I think knows what he's doing, but and there's so many other things about it in general. Like, I don't want to go off on too much of a tangent, but I've been struggling not to judge the first film too harshly because I don't know how it's gonna. It's one story. It's not a sequel. It's one book. They split into two, so it's hard to look at one without seeing how the other one props it up or drags it down.
Yeah.
Because it either can make that first movie better or much worse.
Yeah.
Depending on what the resolution ends up being.
And it's always harder when you have the characters grow up. You don't have that charm of the kids that pulled that first movie through,
Well,
capturing that magic of that group with adults might be more difficult.
I agree, but according to IMDb, all the kids are still listed in here. So I'm assuming we're going to get a lot of flashbacks. Yeah. And I think that we're going to need them because for those of you who aren't familiar with the book or the general story of it, really the main premise, which obviously doesn't come across in the first movie because it's all about the kids, is that all the adults essentially had amnesia and don't remember, have blocked out what happened in Derry, and have grown up and have done their best to move past it so they could psychologically get on with their lives. And basically, as they get closer to coming to Derry, their minds start to unravel and they start to remember that fateful summer of what happened, and they basically remember everything up to how they defeated it, which is like the last thing they need to remember to come together again as the Losers Club. Yeah. And it is in a weak spot because of its defeat before, and they're in a weak spot because they're adults now and they don't necessarily believe enough, and Stan Uris is dead, so they've broken the link of 7 people, and there's a lot going into it. The adults they have cast in this, I think, are good. They have Jessica Chastain, who's playing Beverly Marsh, growed up. James McAvoy playing Bill, and Bill Hader as Richie Tozier. Is that correct? That's great casting.
Yeah.
So can we get that kind of camaraderie out of the adults that we got out of the kids. I don't know. People look at it different ways. Like, me and my brother argue about this movie a little bit because he thinks that the chemistry with the kids was much better in the 90s version. And as much problems as that movie has, it's a point that it has some credibility, like, because they do have good chemistry in that. And it also, like, there's stuff in that story that's from the book that didn't make it into this film, like Beverly being the only person who can wield the crossbow.
Yeah.
Or not the crossbow, the
slingshot.
slingshot, sorry. You know, and all the boys are, like, blown away, but like, wow, this girl is a badass and she can outshoot us.
Yeah.
And then in the new movie, Beverly becomes a damsel in distress.
Yeah.
Which I hate.
Yeah.
I hate it.
Captured for no good reason.
It really hurts her character, I think, because her character is, like, you know, and all of them are, like, they growed up to be, like, adult versions of their miniature selves, right? You know,
Yeah.
Beverly was abused by her father, and she went on to marry an abusive husband.
Yeah.
But once she's called back to Derry, she basically smacks the hell out of him and leaves him.
Yeah.
And starts to find her inner strength again that she had when she was the child Beverly, who could, you know, wield a slingshot against an extra-dimensional monster.
Yeah.
And I don't know how all these things are going to jive. I did look into the fact that there is an actor listed for the bully,
Henry Bowers.
Henry Bowers as his older self. So that answers that question. Did he survive falling into that pit? Yes.
The bottomless pit.
Right, which I'm guessing that we're going to get shots that are going to be put in to the movie to rectify
hopefully
things that weren't shown in the last one, don't you think?
You would have to.
You're going to have to. Otherwise, what is the threat of Henry Bowers, or how did he survive that hole? How is, because like I said, its power is significantly diminished. He needs a person to be physical to help him get the Losers Club out of the way once and for all.
Yeah. Is it going to be picked up by Christine?
That'd be great.
Yep.
I don't know. It is one of my favorite Stephen King books, and I say that about a lot of his books. It's hard to pick. He has some great works. I'm currently in the process of going through the audiobook again right now, and so I will have a lot more to say upon it once the film comes out. Is it fair to judge that based on the book? I don't care if it is or not. I'm gonna.
Yeah.
I can't help it.
Yeah.
In retrospect, like I said, I'm gonna wait and see. I wish they would have done this as a television show instead.
Yeah. So they could take their time with it.
Right. I think they should have learned from Stranger Things, because without it, there is no Stranger Things.
Oh, definitely not.
It's just period. So I think they should have taken a note from Stranger Things and done it that way, whether it be on Netflix or Hulu or HBO or whatever, and then they could take their time with it. Granted, you can't take too much time because the kids grow up, but it could have easily been 3 or 4 seasons, 10 episodes apiece.
Yeah. And then you could juxtapose it the way like the book does.
Well, right, because
it shows the kids, and then it also shows the adults at the same time. Basically.
Right, and also like you could have little episodes that would be like how they did in the book would be like it goes off on a tangent. It's not really a tangent; it just shows you more Pennywise. It'd be like a story from the summer of 1960, or whatever. And this is this thing that happened that like weaves into the overarching plot, but the Losers Club necessarily weren't around to witness it.
Yeah.
And these are things that Mike Handlin has put together. Has found because he's a librarian, so he's the only one who doesn't forget.
Yeah, because
he never left Derry, so he spent his entire adult life archiving things and going through papers and talking to the old timers and keeping a daily journal about what he's found. And then, it's not until he finds that picture of Georgie when he realizes, oh, it's come back.
Yeah.
And then he starts making the phone calls.
Yeah.
Well, Mike Hanlon doesn't have a character in
the
new movie.
Yeah.
Which is sad because I don't think you can argue that he's the main character in King's book. And in the 90s miniseries, it all starts with Mike Hanlon.
Yeah.
You know, and the phone calls. And so now what are we going to do? Are we going to have Ben Hanscom be the one to do it?
I hope not.
Because he was in the library all the time too, and he had the crush on Beverly, and I don't know. Why change the character dynamics when it's already there for you?
Yeah. I guess they just felt they needed to give that character more to do, and they sacrificed another character for it. It's not like...
It was a sacrifice too, because what contribution does he have to the movie other than giving them the cattle prod thing?
Yeah.
The little hydraulic shooter, which is made up anyway.
Yeah.
Because it should have been a slingshot and silver that they melted down from cartwheel silver dollars.
Yep. Ben supplied.
Ben supplied, right. Everybody had a hand in, like, he donated a cartwheel. I think there was 2 of them, right?
Yeah.
Everybody had a hand in bringing together the weapon.
Yeah.
You know, sorry, we got people mowing in the background. We'll do the best to cut that out. But everybody brought it in to how they were going to melt it down, to bringing in the silver, to taking turns, figuring out who was the best shot. That really, I think, solidified them as, we're in this together, we're the only ones that know what's going on, and there's no turning back now. And none of that's in the movie.
Yeah.
And it's unfortunate, because it's all there for you. Why, like, the book's 1,100 some pages. If you're adding anything additional, I have to say shame on you.
Yeah.
Because you're going to have to leave out enough anyway. So now, anytime you add something, you're leaving something else out.
Yeah.
Well, I didn't mean to go on. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to go on a tangent, but I'm going to see it. I can't say that I'm looking forward to it. It's going to be, it's been 2 years, and I've waited this long, and I hope it doesn't suck.
Yeah.
Actually, I can say that from everything we talked about on the list here, I think it's the only one that could suck, that might have a chance at sucking.
Yeah.
Better than any of these other ones. I feel like all these other ones.
I think you had a little bit of hesitation of Men in Black too. But...
Oh yeah, well, Men in Black, I'm take it or leave it on.
Yeah.
I don't think there's any chance it's going to be great, but it might be. We'll see.
Is there any movie that came out already this year that you missed that you would want to see?
Yeah, what did I miss? Well, you just saw John Wick 3, and you like that. I can't comment on that one because I haven't seen the other John Wick films. I know, shame on me. Brian's gonna get me caught up here, and I'll have something to say about it. Yeah, there was something that just came out recently, like last week or two.
There's a couple movies that I was thinking.
What do you have?
One is Tolkien. I would like to go see.
Yeah, you know what? That one went completely under the radar for me. It had no marketing.
Yeah.
I remember seeing a trailer for it like in December or something, and I'm like, oh, cool. A biopic about J.R.R. Tolkien. Yeah. I'll watch that. And then it came and went, and I forgot about it.
Yeah, and the other one is another A24 film that I missed earlier this year. It's called Under the Silver Lake.
I just watched the Half in the Bag, the Red Letter Media guys, Under the Silver Lake, and they made me want to watch it.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna check that one out, but I don't know where you're gonna get it at. It's not.
You're gonna have to wait for DVD or.
Well, apparently, it's on DVD, but not on Blu-ray.
Yeah.
If you can find it on DVD, and then you can rent it on Amazon Prime.
Oh, I have Amazon.
Yeah, Mike from Red Letter Media said he rented it on Amazon Prime, but he enjoyed the movie, but he said that Amazon fucked up the aspect ratio, and so it's like all squished on the screen, like like the old days of formatting to like a square tube.
Yeah.
He said they did something to mess it up, and it's all like squished and not in the right 2x3 or whatever.
Well, I'm not watching it there.
So I just wanted to tell you that because if that's the case, don't rent it. Of course, maybe Amazon just has something against Mike. I don't know. I know a lot of people who do.
Yeah.
No, we're just kidding, Mike. We love you. That's. I don't know anything else I missed. And there's other films that didn't quite make this list. And these are just things that are coming, in the next couple months. I think that we'll get together and make another list for the fall/winter. I know we have The Joker and a couple other movies that I'm interested in, or other ones that I'm like, oh God.
Yeah.
And of course, we didn't talk about Star Wars because I couldn't give two shits about Star Wars anymore. I'm over it.
Yeah, it's on my list of things that are going to be disappointing.
Like my son.
Yeah.
All right, folks. So that's our episode for today. If you like our content, please like, share, subscribe. I'm working on getting this podcast on iTunes and other various places if I can. So I'm Nate.
I'm Brian.
And we'll see you next time right here on Storytellers.